Heidi howdy ho! It's the What's New Player 2 podcast, episode 49. How'd you like that one?
You threw me off. I'm like a cowboy who's been thrown off a perfectly broken horse that he's ridden for the past 5 years. I'm shooketh.
Good. I'm glad. We're almost at 50 now. We're gonna be almost a half 100.
Even more importantly, we're gonna be 19 away from nice. No, not 9. Yeah, 19
Yes,
away.
no, you're right. No,
19 away from
we
the
will be
nice
19
episode.
away from nice. Next episode. Technically speaking.
Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. When it comes up, we're not gonna make mention of it. Because that's what they'd be expecting.
You mean the one person?
No, we just said what's gonna happen, so now we have to... Can't mention it once.
Okay.
Even when we introduce it, we have to introduce it as episode 68 plus 1.
Yeah. So, we're going to try to actually make our discussions more concise. So, right now, we're going to have it set up as a Fire Emblem discussion, then a main gaming news discussion, and then it could be a miscellaneous.
Section.
So, hopefully, it will be a lot more listenable by fucking actually having set discussions in each part.
Well, palatable more than listenable. Because,
Fair.
like, these buttery voices are the only thing that'll make it listenable.
Yeah. I don't know if you would... No.
I wouldn't describe either of our voices as buttery.
You said, please don't not. No, please. Anyway. Fire Emblem. Getting out of the way first.
We figure that's the best thing to get out of the way first.
So, with everything going on with it, really the only thing that's been going on is Heroes. What?
Oh, I thought you were forgetting which aspect of Heroes you wanted to start with.
No, I'm just going to go with Heroes because that's the only thing that's been going on. So, this past week we had a Fate channel again for this month because they did say from the last one we're going to have another one in the middle of this month. And it was essentially just showing off the Choose Your Legends 4 winners, which, were Edelgard, Claude, Lysithea, and Dimitri. So we got to see their art, and they basically took the designs from the overclass that each lord gets, and for Lysithea they used the Grimoire class for her, and they all look pretty nice, all things considered. I personally wish they did a little bit more with it. Like, at least with, I think personally, I was hoping for the custom hair option that they have for the main lords. I was hoping they were going to put that as their hair piece, or the headpiece essentially, for the brave units. And then when the legendary units come out, they just use, the basic time skip look like they did for Edelgard. Just to, kind of make it look more different. But overall, they all look really fucking nice. And, then they also, during that Fade channel, they talked about adding a new fucking, mode. Which, I'll be honest, I already forgot the name of. And it just seems like a weird version of Voting Gauntlet. But also not. So, I'll be completely honest, I don't really have anything more to say about that. They also upped the Dragon Flower limit for most of the characters, so now most characters are going to have 15 Dragon Flowers to consume, and then the ones who can only take 5 can now do 10, stuff like that. So, my Roy is going to have so much fucking goddamn shit put into him, it's going to be scary. But the biggest thing that they added, or that they are going to be adding in, I forgot what they were called already, but it's a fruit. I'm calling them the Ivycados. So
that's good.
So you can, I saw it on Reddit, so I'm not taking credit for that. Anyway, so essentially, there's gonna be these fruits that we can collect now that will be able to let you change the IVs of one character. Each 100 lets you do for a single character. So if you're not a whale, or you don't spend money in the game, and you have a fucking character you got that you really liked, but you got a fucking minus attack plus resistance of a fucking like, oh my god, throwing a unit in there. A Dimitri, whether it's Brave or the original, you can use that fruit and fucking switch that shit out and have him be a plus attack minus resistance or whatever the fuck you feel like. And I think that's super fucking cool, and especially where you can keep them as neutral IVs too. So like, if you're weird and you got rid of like those good free-to-play units like Legendary Ike and Air or Fjorm for their skills, you can now just fucking make them neutral again, and you know, you can follow free-to-play guides better, which is super fucking nice. My whole issue, and not really like an issue, just like a first world problem issue, is who the fuck I'm gonna personally use that shit on first, because they're gonna give us 100 to start off with essentially when that new mode drops. So, ooh, I'm a pumped.
I hadn't been keeping up with the Fire Emblem news, so it's good that you were, because I had no idea any of that was coming.
And
well, I knew the Brave Heroes were coming, but
and
like,
they did come, because today was the first day as of this recording that they're out, and funnily enough, Jay and I both got very lucky. I saved up all my orbs. I was able to get Dimitri and Lysithea, then I got more orbs, and I ended up getting Edelgard, but you got super lucky.
I saved up 25 orbs, picked Lysithea, and then I got Dimitri and Claude.
All within those orbs, which was impressive to watch firsthand.
It's fun. I leave the game for like a month, come back, and it gives me good luck. Like, maybe this will be the time he stays. And I always think, this should be the time I stay.
But it's
and
good
then,
that you don't.
Like, I just can't. Like, I
know.
like the gameplay, I like the story.
But
there's
I get
just something about it. Reading all those abilities and like what they do.
Yeah,
it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but where you have like on steroids, and you have to do it for 4 separate characters.
Yeah, the abilities, the ability descriptions or the skill descriptions really.
They're getting so long.
I'll be honest, I don't read them that much anymore. I'll like
look for the number.
Yeah, I'll look for the numbers. But even then, I'll be honest, when they do like the less than or greater than, I'm like, I have to think what the fuck it means for a hot minute and like do like some semblance of math. But otherwise, yeah, I'll be honest, I'll be like, oh, that has this encounter in it. Alright, I know what that is. And that's basically all I do. Cause yeah, some of these weapon descriptions get so goddamn lengthy.
They're as long as Yu-Gi-Oh card effects. It's insane.
Yeah, it gets a little much after a while. Like, I get it, you need to up the game's fucking
It'll be like, if it's
meta,
a Sunday
and
the weather is approximately 73.3 degrees out, and it's about to rain at 4 p.m., then this lands if the unit is attacking a axe unit, and the axe unit's speed is 1/3 the unit next to its attack. Like, it's just so...
It's weird.
It's so strange that I can't stay into the game, because I like the sprite work, I like the characters, I like the world, I like the gameplay. It's a great mobile game to play. I've stopped.
And that's totally fine though. I mean, you gotta also remember, and it's really weird to think about, the game has been out for 3+ years now.
Yeah.
It came out in 2017 in February. So, like, in all honesty, you can only stick with a game for so long, especially a mobile game. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
So, depending on how... It's impressive how long some people stick with the game and also consistently log in and play it. So, like, dude, I totally get it.
I also just don't give a rat's ass about the fairies.
Yeah, I don't fully care for the story. I mean, it gives me Alphonse stuff to look at. So I'm like, alright, cool, I'll get some more interactions for Alphonse to read through. That doesn't bother me. But, like, yeah, this story in general, I'm just like, eh.
I like the initial story, Book 2. Book 3 made Alphonse one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, oh, straight up, they made him so much better.
They made him so good in Book 3, and then Book 4 I just don't care about.
Yeah, the Book 4 is just about fairies and, like, the main...
It's just waifu fairies.
Well, yeah, because they killed the one male one off this recent chapter.
They normally do. It's a Fire Emblem game.
I know. He was like, oh, because apparently it cuts half of the thought fairy's power.
Huh.
That's
good for him.
That's the twist that they did. It is kind of cute, though, because the last map is you actually do have to physically kill him, and he has no weapons or anything. So like,
Oh,
yeah, I think
Wow.
that's cool.
that is pretty neat.
But fucking Dimitri and Edelgard.
Butt fucking.
What?
You said butt fucking.
Shut
butt
up.
fucking Dimitri.
But Dimitri and Edelgard are fucking a nightmare to deal with on that map.
I mean, they might have been fucking. We never knew.
Oh god, let's hope not.
Well, Dimitri gave her the knife. He said he wanted to lance her.
Fair.
We just didn't know he meant with an actual lance. He
Yeah.
said, "Hey there, baby, let me lance you." She said, "What?" And he threw a lance at her, and it almost killed her.
So, but the one thing that I did want to talk about, aside from one other thing after that, is, one of the characters that they revealed during that whole, Fate channel and who's coming out tomorrow for as a Grand Hero battle unit is George. Who's George, you ask? A merchant from Radiant Dawn who really wasn't that prevalent at all. Has, like, no memes, behind him to where, like Reinhardt would ever. And, yeah, so it turns out that George got he got that high up because someone made a bot to create a lot of votes for him. So, because, like, from Choose Your Legends 1, he was, like, really down low, like, in the 690s. And then in Choose Your Legends 2, he got to, like, 700 in, like, 24 or something like that. Some, like, really low number. And then, like, in Choose Your Legends 3, he got up to, like, 600? He was around where Titania and Gaius were around there. Like, pretty popular fucking characters. And then he just kind of got up. And now, in this one, he got to 12th place overall. He beat Rhea when this whole Choose Your Legends this year were just taken over by 3 houses. So, yeah, apparently this guy made a bot to generate multiple votes for George because I supposedly said he likes George, but also probably because he wanted to. So,
More power to him, man.
more power to him, sure. It just shows that they definitely don't have a system to,
Deal with that.
or they really did, or they somehow thought people did really want him in. But, like,
I'm fine with the bot as long as it's used as a force for good.
yeah, I get it, but, like, at the same time, it's like, how many other people, how many more people will do this kind of thing? And then on top of it, what kind of character will they do it for? Because then it's going to be...
then we're going to get, like, another Lynn, another Camilla...
Well, no, we can't get any of those. That's the one thing that they were good with, is every consecutive Choose Your Legend, whoever won is not going to be picked.
Well, no, but what isn't he a Grand Hero battle?
Well, yeah, because the way they did it for him, because since he's not like obviously he's a popular unit to be put in the game, according to what they thought, but, like, they knew he wouldn't be desirable enough to be a summonable compared to the 4 winners, so make him the free unit for people just to get. It's like the same. It's like with fucking what they did with the recent Tempest trial. They added Daros. No one really knows who Daros was, but, like, he has somewhat of, like, of a following at least, and he's a playable character, so it makes a little more sense. So, that's usually how they relegate most of the free units, is just they're popular enough, but also they might not be desirable enough to have people summon, so let's put the more desirable people to summon for, so we get more money, and just put them in as a Grand Hero battle or a Tempest trial.
And sometimes you get a wall heart where it's like no one wants him and he's not desirable. Yeah, put him in anyways.
I mean, people did want him.
Yeah, well, those people are wrong.
I'm just saying.
And that's what the bot's here to stop.
So, god damn it. I just want... But my next question to you, though, is, or at least my final question, I guess, when it comes to just Fire Emblem right now.
He's gonna kill me.
No. Who do you think now, since Choose Your Legends 4 is over? Who
Am
do you
I
think
including the bot?
You can if you want, but who do you think will be the top 2 winners of Choose Your Legends 5?
That depends on if a game's gonna come out before then.
Okay, but okay. So if no game comes out before that, the next Choosy Legends goes off.
I don't know, the hot ones. It's hard to pick because
All right, go male then.
People vote with their dicks, so it's hard to pick.
Okay, then how about males?
All right, I don't know who already has a Brave.
Roy, Ike, Ellawood, Ephraim, Hector, Dimitri, and Claude.
All right, what's another male lord?
Crom, Marth.
Crom.
Yeah, I definitely think personally.
Crom or Marth?
I think it's gonna be both, especially Marth, because I feel like the way things have been going since he's always been gypped by getting third fucking place. I feel like people are really going to try to rally him to be now, especially number one.
I can't
for
wait
next year, unless a new game comes out and or something else for Three Houses.
I can't wait until we run out of lords to put in the
the Choose Your Legends.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, we technically broke that already.
With who?
Lysithea.
Oh well, yeah, but like, there's not like 2 female lords in Three Houses.
No. I mean, the only other person that I can see breaking...
Also, who's that popular enough of a female lord?
Erica. Erica's popular.
More than New Game?
More than New Game? Probably not. But, still, Erica would be...
Like, you have to include the New Game boost.
I know, the New Game boost is... The New Game boost. That's hence why Three Houses was the dominant fucking source.
Which, like, I like Three Houses.
Oh, I'm fine with it, but...
fuck on.
Yeah, I...
Although it's neat that all 3 of their lords are out now, so you
yes,
can't,
it's out now, so it's out of the way.
They won't be the next ones.
And they won't be the next ones. So, like, I get it. Let's say they got it because of, you know, people like her and also memes.
And she's really fucking good.
Yeah, because memes.
Yeah.
So that helps. But I definitely do hope that we, you know, especially after the Lords, and since Sella finally got his alt/legendary alt.
Oh yeah, maybe Self will get a Brave.
He might get a Brave, but I definitely feel like...
How many male lords are left to get?
Crom,
Marth,
Seliph,
Sigurd.
Leaf, Sigurd.
Is that it?
That's it.
Alright, so...
Unless you count Robin.
Okay, so then...
Oh, and Corrin.
Oh no, then don't count...
Corrin never got them.
Don't count Robin because he's not a lord, but do count Corrin because he is a lord.
Byleth.
I wouldn't count Byleth as a lord.
Okay.
Byleth is a mercenary.
I mean, same thing with Chris then, technically.
Chris is not a lord. Player characters other than Corrin, because Corrin has to be everything, aren't lords.
But otherwise, yeah, those would be the male lords that we still have not gotten a Brave alt for. But I definitely expect... I definitely expect New Game, even if New Game comes... I still think Marth will probably at least try to be in the top 2.
You know who I want there to be a Brave alt for? Alphonse and Sharena.
And I'm honestly shocked that we haven't gotten something like that already.
It's completely understandable why we wouldn't.
Why? Why not?
Because
they're summonable version of the Lords again?
Because they're not nearly as popular as like main series characters.
Well, of course not. But like they're still popular enough. Like especially with like... If anything, I'm shocked they don't, or they haven't even done already, a legendary version of them yet.
I mean,
because then they could tie that into the story.
I'd say
I feel like that would have been like
give it until the Lords.
Or maybe they do like a book 5, and like one of them gets like basically a class promotion, and that would be what you would get.
I'm surprised Alphon hasn't got a class promotion yet.
Well, that's what I mean. So like that's what I'm getting at. Like
not so much Sharena, but him.
Yeah, because I would consider him.
I consider him the main lord.
The main lord of that game, with Sharena being just
his sister.
His sister, like somewhat of like Erica is technically the same thing. I would say like technically it could be like an Ephraim Erica thing, but whatever. Anyway.
No, I would consider Ephraim and Erica to be like equal lords.
Yes.
I would not consider Alphonse and Sharena equal lords.
No, you're right. You're right.
I would say the equal lords are like Alphonse and Veronica.
Yeah. I agree with that.
They're much more... Like,
they're prevalent in the story and stuff.
They're more each other's counterpart.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's why fucking Jogala even put them in first.
Mm-hmm.
They put them with Marth and Fjorm.
For Jorm.
For Jorm. I guess my female picks I could see happening would be, if no new game, Erica and either female Robin or Anna.
I could see Erica and maybe...
I could see Anna, even though now we've gotten 2 more
Who's
Annas.
another popular character?
Female Corrin.
Okay, that's who I was going to say. Erica and female Corrin.
You'd be female Corrin or female Byleth.
I definitely think the Lords are going to go first. Brave unit.
Probably, but the thirst for fucking female Byleth is real. So I wouldn't be shocked if female Byleth
I get it,
got high.
But like,
I know, I get it too, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I think that wraps up about,
Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem
Heroes.
over. All right.
Okay, so
Video game news.
yeah. So you want to hit that off because you
Sure.
found a lot more stuff than I did.
Sure. So Nintendo released a quick little, well, not so quick, but a little video compiling a few of their international indie games. A few of these include Hades from Supergiant,
Which originally has been a PC exclusive until now.
Raji, an Ancient Epic from Notting Head Games, more info from Untitled Goose Game,
Getting in 2-player mode.
a short hike from Adam Robinson, Whip-Poor Will?
We're looking at
Whip-Poor Will. I don't know how to pronounce that. Whippoorwill?
Whippoorwill. It's Whip or whatever.
A Subnautica port.
Yeah, I heard good things about Subnautica. I heard it's like
A friend of mine who plays it says it's fun.
Yeah, I also have a friend who plays it like frequently on PC. It looks like an underwater version of No Man's Sky, to be completely honest.
Torchlight 3,
I really haven't heard anything about it.
Card Shark, and several others. I won't name all of them, but the ones that stick out to me most are Hades has a really cool art style. Raji, I'll get more into that. Or Raji, I guess it'd be
Raji.
I guess it'd be pronounced Raji. The Untitled Goose Game, a short hike looks pretty great. Card Shark could be.
I feel like if you don't like it, I feel like our other friend might like it.
And then Bear and Breakfast has a cute name. I won't lie.
If I was able to somehow find a way to get that animation of him walking, I would want that as your Discord icon.
It's pretty cute.
It's fucking adorable, but also just the bear walking, I love him. He looks so adorable.
So, I guess first, thoughts on Hades.
I never played Bastion originally, which is what the studio made first and basically got them to where they're at now. I also thought the art style looks interesting. I might give it a try. I don't know yet. It looks neat enough, but it's not like a must play for me right now, especially in the future. I gotta still get through Messenger. The Messenger I like a little bit more, but still, I don't know. It's interesting enough. I do like a lot of things about it, but I think I would need to at least play a demo of some or get some more gameplay of it.
My big question is, because they said as you play through, every time you die, you advance the story on your way to try and escape the underworld, and you get stronger. Does that mean if you play smart enough, you can beat it on your first go? I'm wondering if that means there's a forced death at some point, or if you can beat it without dying.
Maybe.
Because if you can beat it without dying, that'll be a fun, challenge to do.
Yeah. The game's already out on I think it's out on PC. So
probably
if you want, and you always look it up and see, because I honestly don't know that much about the gameplay. From what I've seen from the trailers, that's all I've really gotten from it.
I'll have to look that up later. Then Raji, an Ancient Epic, looks pretty good actually.
Yeah, it looks like a fun action game.
Ancient India is a great setting.
Oh yeah,
and
it's not explored enough. It's really not.
All the religious pantheons, Hindu's pantheon has the most interesting
it does.
looking
Yeah.
deities, and it's got some pretty great lore.
Yeah, and I think the only thing I would, I forgot where I was going with that. I really do like the art style that the game takes on, and I think the only thing I know the character model I saw, I don't think she had a face. I'm curious if that's like a stylistic choice or.
Does she not? I could have sworn she had a face.
She might have. Honestly, I couldn't tell because the way that the camera is, at least with that game, it's so zoomed out. I can't really see it. But either way, no.
Oh no, I guess she doesn't have a face.
No, either way, the game looks. I'm pretty interested in that game.
It looks pretty neat. One thing I do want to know. No, I'm not gonna say that actually.
Okay. What two other games I was somewhat interested in? A Short Hike, yes, but
A Short Hike.
I figured you were gonna go more into that.
A Short Hike looks pretty great if they don't force you to do story stuff before you can explore.
Yeah, so you basically wanted like a Breath of the Wild.
I want to be
explore
able to,
right then and there.
I want to be able to fly around on those updrafts from the word go.
I totally get that. I'm slightly interested in Chucklefish's release of Inmost. It looks like a neat indie side scroller, and I'm always down to clown for that. And the other game that they showed off a little bit of, I don't know if I'll get it, but it's definitely a neat idea. I don't know how well gameplay wise it might be, but that game Takeshi and Hiroshi.
Oh yeah.
Is that it's basically the main cutscenes are stop motion, but the gameplay is like pixel based, whatever.
Yes, I have seen.
You make an RPG for your younger brother who probably is like in the hospital, because I saw a few clips like that, so he's probably gonna die. But you're gonna make a very nice RPG for him before he dies, and I think that's kind of cute. So I'm not gonna lie, I might dabble into that. But the thing is though, I don't know how engaging the gameplay is gonna be, because I feel like it's gonna be kind of paper thin, and it's gonna be relying more on the story than the quote unquote RPG making of it. But I think it's neat otherwise.
I think it's very neat. I also think Spiritfarer looks really, really good. Depending on how in depth they let you go with like the base building.
Yeah, I honestly I remember seeing a little bit of it, and then when I saw this trailer from the mini direct, whatever, I was making the joke thinking like, aw, she has a furry fetish, because she was hugging all of them. They all look very.
All right. Well, my opinion was Terraria, but you can pet the dog.
I never played Terraria, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, it's only similar in it that you build your house and whatnot.
Okay.
But I will say, I do find it really adorable how she hugs them all before they leave.
And I think that's also a cute idea that you're basically helping them pass away.
At least I think the character's she.
I think it's a she, but that's besides the point.
It's a really cute looking game.
Yeah,
and it's probably going to be really touching.
Oh, probably. I mean, games like that usually end up being something like that.
Definitely.
It is kind of funny though how it always seems like indie games focus on the afterlife.
Oh yeah.
In some sort of way.
Oh,
having the setting be taking place in the afterlife.
That's because it's a good place for compelling stories
and just interesting gameplay.
AAA developers don't need to tell compelling stories because you'll buy them for the brand. Indie game developers.
You gotta do a little more work.
Well, indie game developers, I think the problem is they don't have the resources to do an amazing game.
No, not
from
at all.
A gameplay perspective.
No, most of them don't.
So
That's why they're indie.
So they have to knock it out of the park with the story.
Or their gameplay too. I mean, they can make an engaging.
Not every game is going to be a Celeste. Not every game is going to be really fun to play and have an amazing story. Some of them are going to be like Undertale. Good story, great, amazing music. The gameplay is boring as sin.
Oh yeah. I feel like, and that's kind of how I feel right now with The Messenger. Great gameplay, really fucking good, kick-ass music. Story's okay. It's not nothing to write home about. It's fourth wall breaking, and it's doesn't take itself too seriously, which is fine. But at least with that game, I'm glad that game got recognition because of its good gameplay and everything. Because otherwise, That's really all it has.
That's like the main difference. With an indie game, you have to select what to sacrifice. Now, it's normally never the music. So
yeah, usually that's the one thing I will have to definitely agree with. I feel like most indie games
have
bomb-ass music. Bomb-ass.
Well, that's because as Sega has proven, you can survive off of good music.
And okay gameplay.
Oh, that's giving them a lot of praise. But with AAA developers, it's not that they have to sacrifice one, it's that they choose to sacrifice at least one. Which is... There is a lot more indie games that are closer in quality to game than Nier Automata than there are, like, AAA developed games. Which is insane. But yeah, Spiritfarer definitely stuck out to me the most out of all the games. Is the one I'm most interested in.
Oh, if I had to really say the most... Honestly... It's a good question. I wouldn't say Spiritfarer for me, but just because it might be Takeshi Hiroshi. I don't know why. It just interested me enough. You know, like I will say, Manifold Garden looked kind of interesting too. It's that weird, like psychedelic looking one. That might have been my that might have been the one that interested me the most, or at least stuck with me the most. Even though I don't know, like Takeshi Hiroshi just seems to keep coming back in my head, like, oh, like that game interests you, right? I'm like, I guess, yeah.
And then Card Shark is either going to be so much fucking fun, or it's going to be absolute dog trash,
or it's gonna be up its own ass.
I don't see that game being middle of the road whatsoever.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one or the other. I agree with that. I don't think it's going to be.
If I had to place a bet, I'd say it's going to be a great fucking game. It's going to be a great stealth strategy game. But, you know, always keep your expectations tempered.
That's the biggest thing.
Looks fun. I can't wait to see some reviews over it. I don't play many of them, but I do like card games a lot.
Yeah.
So, card game setting, like a playing card setting, where the focus is on the playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into that.
No, I totally.
All right. So
yeah.
Next up in news, Epic is removing Fortnite from the Android, Google Play Store, and iTunes, Apple Play. iTunes. Is it called iTunes?
Well, really, App Store.
App Store.
Well, either way, I mean, it's not Epic Games. It's just
no. Well, okay.
Well, no, Apple Games is now. I mean, Apple. Damn it.
Okay, so what happened was there was a deal between Epic Games and Apple that Apple would get I believe it was 20 or 30% cut of all sales involving Fortnite on their systems. Epic found a way around that and stood their ground saying Apple was taking too much, so we found a way around it. Either in a PR attempt or an attempt to get Apple to renegotiate.
Probably both.
And so Apple said you violated the terms of the contract and banned them from the iTunes App Store.
See, I thought they lowered the cost for V-Bucks.
No,
and that's
they found a workaround to giving Apple their cut. It's much less of an issue on like the Google Play Store because Android phones, you can get apps on them with their look at Nutaku, porn apps, porn game apps. You don't have to get them through the fucking. I've seen YouTubers.
Because I legitimately have no idea.
Yeah, they do a lot of fucking porn gotcha games.
Oh, okay.
And you just download them from the website.
Yeah.
That doesn't go through the Google store, but with Apple.
Because also, excuse me.
Androids are more open. They're not
Androids are just open PCs. In your pocket. Where Apple is literally just the rigid.
Apple uses iOS, which is specifically there.
Yeah, the rigid fucking iOS that is simplistic in almost every,
It's their own form of monopoly.
Yeah.
And so for people on Apple stores, that's basically it. That's until a deal is worked out, or bridges are mended. That's basically it for Fortnite on iPhone.
I mean, also
on Android, maybe not.
I mean,
maybe
also
so.
I know with Epic, well, Apple was also banning or like also getting rid of Unreal Engine, I think,
It's possible.
because of all this. Because
Uh,
I know Epic Games. I think Epic Games, I believe, owns the Unreal Engine.
Yes, Epic Games does own the Unreal, and yes, it says right here that Unreal, if Epic is disabled, then the company won't be able to maintain the Unreal Engine for iPhones and other Apple computers.
Yep.
So anything that runs on the Unreal Engine, like that might go kaput as well. Which I really wish they would. Epic would bring back fucking Infinity Blade, because that game was incredible, and it was literally an app that was worth the $6 that it cost. It was a $6 app. There were 3 of them, 3 different games: Infinity Blade 1, 2, and 3. I bought all 3 at their fucking $6 or $7 price, and then I bought a fucking ebook about the game. It was so good, and the story was pretty fun. So yeah, Apple and Epic are
2 big fucking juggernauts.
angry at each other, and if you're on an Android, you'll be fine. You can download it from so many. You can torrent. You should not. Do not torrent or pirate. You could torrent whatever the hell you want onto, like, an app.
You're more free to do whatever the hell you want, basically, on an Android phone than you ever will for an Apple product. That's basically the end of that.
Yeah.
I mean, choose what you want, obviously, and if you're like me, who doesn't really care either way, cool. The only thing that sucks really about this whole thing, personally to me, is the Unreal Engine potentially going to be pulled. But like either way, I mean, who knows? However that goes, I mean, no, they're both just big ass companies that have a lot of money. I mean, yeah, if you want to fight for one of them, go for it. But like, in the grand scheme of things,
fight for the approval of the mega corporations.
Yeah, like
be a good consumer. Buy product and shut up.
Yeah, so my only like thought for that.
I think that's the only time that everyone can agree that capitalism is a good thing. Because there are people who are for capitalism, there are people who are anti-capitalism.
Yeah, everyone.
But everyone can agree. Everyone can agree that you should never just be good consumer, buy product, and shut up. Like that's like the one thing everyone can agree upon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good part of capitalism, is just don't buy something if you don't agree with it.
Of course.
So that's all I really have to say about the Epic. Up next, Rocksteady, in a bit of hot water. They react to harassment claims.
Sorry.
Yeah, they do. Rocksteady YouTubers react to. So back in 2018, more than half the women working at the studio all got together and signed a letter describing all the unwanted sexual advances, the harassment. It says right here, quote, slurs regarding the transgender community. Transgenders in brackets, so obviously they used a slur for it, but inappropriate comments in the office. And they all signed a letter trying to address the problem, and the company tried to remedy the issues with a singular 1 hour long seminar, but to no avail. It seems as though the mistreatment and the harassment has continued. And so one of the people who signed the letter, they didn't give their name or anything, obviously, released the letter with all the signatures to The Guardian, who posted an article, about the whole story. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess the really only quote-unquote thought I have is just, it's shitty. It's just shitty. It's a whole shitty situation. I mean, it's still annoying that we're still getting more and more, annoying in the sense that we're still getting more stories of all this, fucking harmful treatment of women still in any kind of industry, because
Just let people like yeah no.
it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't.
It's not that hard to be like a decent human being.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. It's not that hard to be decent to just people. Just because they have,
The
boobles or the fucking vagoogles doesn't mean. I don't know.
What we're trying to say is women are people too.
Yeah, I just never understand that whole thought process of that they're lesser. I know that's a whole societal thing, but either way, it's still really annoying that fucking women have to go through this every fucking day, of just men, catcalling or whatever the fuck, doing any kind of unwanted advances to them just because they're woman, he man. The whole fucking goddamn mindset.
Sexual harassment is there's like no excuse for it.
No,
like
fucking
that's not your body to touch.
It's not anything for you to touch.
Exactly.
I hate it when I'm working and I have fucking random customers go up to my female coworkers and have to compliment saying like, oh, my fucking favorite I hate is oh, you have a nice smile, you should smile more. Bitch, she can do whatever the hell she wants. She doesn't need your permission to smile. Who the fuck you think you are?
That's a weird thing to say.
It's always a weird thing. It's one thing to compliment saying like, oh, your hair looks cool or it looks nice. Whatever, fine. But when you get
you can even say you have a lovely smile.
And that too. You should smile more. Fucking ew.
That's like a weird thing to say to someone, like...
Because fucking old people do that a lot, too. It's like, you're not funny, you're not cute, stop it. Or that one time our friend, when we were all on the fucking train...
Oh my god.
Fucking wanted to throw him to the fucking goddamn rails.
So... do you want to hear the company's, like, half-assed PR?
I mean, sure, even though I'll be honest, it's probably just like every other, but go for it, just so...
Over the subsequent 2 years, we have carefully listened to and learned from our employees. We are working to ensure every person on the team feels supported in 2020. We are more passionate than ever to continue the development, our inclusive culture, and we are determined to stand up for all of our staff. What that means, fuck all nothing.
Yeah, that's just basic ass PR.
That is a PR statement if ever there was. Now, if they made some changes, got more stricter with it, like if you started seeing people getting fired from the company for sexual harassment, then no. That when you see the change, you applaud the change. Don't take... All promises are empty until they're delivered. That's just a good bit of life information.
Just because, it's just There's no reason to mistreat anyone like that.
There really,
especially whether it's in a workplace or fucking in public. Or at home. There's no reason. There's just no reason.
No. Buy yourself a sex doll if you need something to fucking treat like an object.
For real, that's why they're made like that. That's why a lot of them are fucking scarily, like, close to fucking an actual human.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's a good thing they're getting more and more human-like, because the more and more, like, alright, so this is gonna sound weird, but the closer we get to affordable sex dolls, the closer we get to less creepy people, like, going up and touching people inappropriately, or harassing them, because the closer we get to affordable sex dolls, the sooner those creepy people will have a companion, because a lot of the problem comes from a lack of companionship.
You heard it here first, people. Jay for president 2024.
I'll give you affordable sex dolls
for everyone. Affordable, real life looking sex dolls.
I think that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing, and with those things, as long as we don't get too crazy with the AI, and then you have to, are they considered life? And
we don't need to.
As long as you don't get into that existential bullshit.
We don't need any Detroit become human situation.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you don't get into that, I think like realistic sex bots would help immensely in so many different ways, because then those like those people who, well, like, they're called nice guys colloquially on the internet, but those people who are so down on themselves
and warped
and
beyond
have
belief.
a horrible, twisted, warped sense of reality
And self-worth.
Yes, and like a strong... It all stems from, like, a strong desire to just feel...
Companionship.
Yes. That's,
Straight up just companionship.
And I think if you can get those sad losers... No. that's a very rude term to... If you can get people like that... Sad losers is an insulting term to... Listen, I was a sad loser for most of my life. But if you can get... For the people who need companionship in their life... And you can always say, just get yourself a dog. A dog doesn't grant you the same companionship that a significant other would. And
Well, don't fuck your dogs, people.
Definitely don't fuck your dogs. Oh my god, no. Dogs are tiny compared to you.
Don't fuck your dogs, anyway.
But even if... we'd have to get into the whole fucking debate about if you should be able to marry your sex bot, but we're not gonna go into that.
Go the most basic you fucking can.
So... If you can give companionship, like, air quotes, human companionship, or next to human companionship to people like that, then they're gonna feel less horrible about themselves, and there's gonna be less of a motive for them to go out and be that way. And another problem with that is that you'd have to start making it societally acceptable for someone to be out with their high-end sex bot, which I think if you want, in the age of growing more and more sexually accepting of everything, which I think is the right way to move.
Oh, totally, but let's be real here. I feel like that will probably be more accepted quicker than trans rights.
Absolutely.
It's horrible reality, but that's what I would think.
Oh, 100%. Although, I'm about to get real shit, because if the face of trans rights was male to female and female to male, and that's what they started focusing on, that would help them move the movement along much quicker. But because there's also, like, non-gender binary, gender fluid, like that stuff, all that stuff added on top of the male to female, female to male, that confuses people, and that's what drags it back. 'Cause I know several people who are like, yeah, male to female, female to male, whatever, I don't care. You can be if you were born a woman and you think you should be a man, be yourself. But then when they're like, oh, they want to be called they, them, like even to me, I don't want to, like, I think they, them is a plural.
Besides that, I just get confused, I'll be honest. I don't dislike it, I just get confused. That's my I
think the fastest way to, like, get the movement into cultural acceptance is to focus on the binary sexual change. So, like, male to female, female to male. Because once because I think that you can get the foot in the door much quicker than everything. And then once that has its foot in the door, it can hold the door open for more and more to come in.
To give you a little kiss.
But, like, you can't ask people to divide up their own community like that. You can't just be like, okay, well, you're all part of the community, but you guys pretend not to be part of the community.
And yeah, I think that's definitely like an issue on top of it. Is just it gets so much more divided.
Yeah, you can't just, like, tell someone, okay, so until this trans is accepted, this trans isn't actually trans. This is something else. It's like, no, it's all encompassed into one. It's all part of the T. It's the T.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Anyway.
Oh.
There's still slightly stuff we should talk about. There you go. There's your tangent.
Well, there is other stuff to talk about, but, like, this article, this is a complete and total non sequitur. But this article that I'm reading about the Rocksteady,
Rocksteady.
I said Rocksteady.
Oh, okay. They said Rock City.
No, Rocksteady. It's a good article. It's fine, but it brings up an article by Kotaku where the writer pointed out that they took issue with the fact that the criminals and the villains refer to Catwoman as a bitch multiple times, like, from the get-go. Which, like, what else do you want her, like, What's a quick, easy, snappy insult that you want them to replace that with?
Like, you can't say woman, because then right then and there, that's gonna make it worse.
You can't say cunt because people hate it when you... America, it's so much worse.
It's
like,
and the game rated T, so you really can't say cunt. So, bitch is the only quick fucking easy thing you can say. It's not like calling her a slut or a whore. It's literally just, who that bitch?
I get it because they call Batman Batman or the Bat. Or they just don't refer to him. They're like, oh, he's here. They could be like, oh, she's here.
The cat.
But, you know, like, it doesn't...
It doesn't roll off, unfortunately.
Like, it's such a non-issue that they call her a bitch.
But they make it an issue.
That, like, bring up real... Like, I'm not going to say don't... That's not, like... But this specific case, it's not a real issue. The villains calling Catwoman a bitch is not a real issue. The sexual harassment, that's a super fucking real issue.
Mm-hmm.
But, like... There are issues you gotta pick and choose. The ones that are, like, important.
Like sexual misconduct in fucking game industries.
Yeah, that's
something you should focus on instead.
That's a fucking biggie.
Anyway.
We can either end the fucking news topic there, or I can bring up
I got one more news thing, and it's not the Mario's nipples thing. That's been covered by everyone else already. But,
alright, and then
I just completely remembered something while doing something else. So, after like 5 years, Skullgirls is getting a new DLC character next year.
Really?
Yeah. So they announced during with their mobile game that
They have a mobile game?
yeah, they've had a mobile game for a while.
Huh.
It's pretty neat. Anyway, they were saying like, oh, they're announcing a new character being added into the mobile game, and so they showed it off, whatever. Oh, cool. And then they, at the end of the trailer, of course, they also were like, oh, the same character, which is Annie, is also coming to Skullgirls coming to Skullgirls Second Encore in 2021, and I'm like, after like 5 years, like that's fucking awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
I'm so glad that they're still even supporting the game, even after they made their new game Indivisible.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
I'm excited to go back into the game now when she comes out eventually. So yeah, I get more Skullgirls content. I like how I get more Skullgirls content than I do Bayonetta.
I mean, but that's pretty neat. Skullgirls is pretty friggin' cool.
I love it.
It's my favorite looking fighting game.
Oh yeah, all that fucking 2D animation. Oh god, so good.
All right, I only have one more piece of news. I felt like sharing. So,
osteoporosis.
In a similar vein to the last news topic before the Skullgirls, the E3 official Twitter account posted a link to an article labeled 25 Best Online Games for Women, saying that, oh, look, we found that, basically saying, oh, look, we found this article about the best 25 games for women. Are your favorites on the list? And to their credit, what is it called? Thumbnail. The thumbnail on the article was a woman playing what looked like a first-person shooter. Something like Titanfall or Apex, something like a non-name brand, like a generic first-person shooter. Then when you click in the article, it was all games such as, The Sims, a Kim Kardashian game.
She has a game?
It's Kim Kardashian City Adventures, something
Never
like
heard of it.
And just, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so then E3 quite obviously said, oh shit, and they took it down and said, we're sorry, that was a mess up on our part, we'll fix it, don't worry, we'll fix it. And it turns out the woman who wrote the article didn't, she tried to ask online for people to give her suggestions, and no one replied to it.
Yeah.
So she just was like, alright, I guess I'll do my own thing. So
It's kind of weird. I'm not
it's-
gonna lie. That's kind of weird.
a little bit, but like, so not a complex story. E3 posted an article. Everyone said, "Hey, E3, that's kind of sexist." They said, "Is it? Oh wait, yeah, it is. All right, sorry about that." And then they took it down, and that.
What are they? Was E3 just you? It sounds like a you response.
Well, no. Their actual response was a whole lot of PR going, "Oh yes, we're sorry. We noticed that. We'll do better in the future." You know, the what they got to do. But the one thing I noticed when reading the article that they used screenshots of tweets from people who were angry at like I think they said rather large names in the gaming industry. And they said how these people were like they were just screenshots of the tweets of them being like pissed off at E3's Twitter, and it brought up a topic in gaming and in most things really, where after the angry people found out that the person who wrote the article was in fact a woman, a lot of the anger died down, and it seemed more like, oh, well, okay, she tried her best. And to her credit, she did try. No one gave her an answer. So I guess she picked her favorite 25. But that just brings up a double standard hypocrisy of like, you get the pass because you are this to talk about this. And I'm not a huge fan of that at all. I'm not a fan of double standards, hypocrisy, or censorship. And so it just, to me, that article brought up like thoughts of like, even if she is a woman, and even if she did try, you can't say she didn't. She put out the request to get more information. She still rightfully deserves the backlash that the article would get, and just the simple fact that she herself was a woman should not absolve her of that issue.
Yeah.
Because really, that's just not a good way to go about it. Oh, you are this thing, therefore, even if you say something against this thing, it's not as bad because you're a part of this thing. It's like, that's not true at all. And that's really all I had to say on that. It's just...
No, I mean, it's...
I don't like double standards. I don't like forced agendas from any side of the aisle. I don't like censorship. It's just...
No, I know. I get it. Ugh.
Like...
It's exhausting. That's really...
Oh yes, these kind of things are stupid fucking exhausting.
Ugh.
Like the Nintendo censoring Mario's nipples. While that's funny, like that's
Just weird.
That's so stupid.
Just weird. Why?
Nipples aren't sexual.
They're really not.
Like,
They're just there.
women's nipples shouldn't have to be censored either. They're not sexual.
No, they shouldn't be. I still don't understand it.
I don't understand the argument with armor in video games. You know what? Let's say that's for the MISC segment.
Well, we might as well we'll just go into it right now.
All right, we're in the MISC segment. The argument for armor in JRPGs and regular RPGs, where people say, well, imagine if the male armor looked like this and it's similar to the female armor. Good. That's the way it should be. I should be able to put my guy in either full plate or like a banana hammock.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fantasy game. I should be able to have armor that is full plate armor if I'm like a badass knight guy.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like the bard who wants to fuck everything, why not let me wear the goddamn banana hammock with like the red, white, and blue top hat?
Yeah.
And like the sparklers coming out of the ears. Like, why not let me go crazy and be overly sexualized? That's why I don't get the outrage towards over-sexualized women in games. Because I think the outrage should be not enough overly sexualized men in video games.
Well, I think that's probably probably I mean, that's the argument. Then.
No, the argument is there needs to be less overly sexualized women. The arguments are never made that there should be more overly sexualized
Well, because
men.
they're so focused on having too much over sexualization of women, because it is everywhere.
Yes.
So
Make it for both.
well, yeah, it's just unfortunate. But like again, they're trying to focus more right now. In general, they're focusing more on just getting less of it because they're sick of seeing it, and they don't think, which I probably agree with them to be honest. They're not gonna over sexualize men before, to remedy the situation. I mean, hell, just look at Japan.
Right, but that is the solution. The solution is to overly sexualize men.
I mean, I'd be down for it, but still.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% straight, and I'm 100% down for overly sexualizing men in video games and all forms of media.
I already do it in my head.
It's just it's baffling that the energy spent on the outrage of make this less appealing for someone else isn't being spent on make it more appealing for me. And you can make the argument that less sexualized women would be more appealing for you, but in that argument, yes, give the player the choice. Player choice is the reason video games are awesome. So give them the choice to either pick their tone, fit, heavily armored female warrior who dual wields the swords, or their Lone Ranger guy with the rifle, or their big fat character who wields like a giant mirror club, or their stripper who shoots laser eyes,
Or
like
a big cock cowboy.
a big cock cowboy who swings a lasso.
I don't know why
that's-
I know, but my mind just strictly went to cowboy.
That's exactly my point. I should be able to be anywhere from.
Samurai are hotter. Anyway.
I should be anywhere to go from. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you on that hardcore, but I should be able to go from innocent to fucking sultry bastard.
Oh my god. We'll talk about that later.
We're gonna have to have words about that because I disagree.
Well, do
vehemently.
you want to do it on mic or you want to do it off mic? I'll do either or.
I can do both. So,
Oh,
all right,
God.
explain to me why samurai are hotter.
Oh, I don't want you to kink shame me.
I'm not kink shaming you. I'm telling you you're wrong.
Still not. You're kink wronging me.
I'm telling you you're wrong in that samurai can be as hot as you want, but cowboys are hotter.
How? I mean, like, I find them equally, like, attractive, but, like, if I had to pick one, I would do samurai, but...
It's cowboy. It is just cowboy.
Just because it's cowboy.
Cowboys are hotter than samurai.
I'm not saying they're not hot, it's just... I think samurai is kind of hotter. I don't know why.
They aren't.
Well, if not, it might be just the yukata or obi thing that might be just get it going for me.
I'm telling it's just because you're a weeb.
No,
It's
fuck.
called samurai bias. It's a real fucking thing.
Hold up.
Are you looking up samurai bias, or are you looking up pictures of hot samurai?
Shit.
Because if you're looking at pictures of hot samurai, I don't want to see it. I give you that there can be hot samurai.
You mean samurai? You mean the thing that Reddit made up?
Samurai bias?
Yes.
It's not specifically a Reddit thing.
Well, because the first thing that came up was a Reddit thing.
Okay, the first thing might be a Reddit thing, but even shows like Mythbusters, they have it.
Oh, I see. Ubisoft samurai bias proof conflict management. Wait.
Well, no. It's an actual phenomenon where because of how much
Weeb culture we can see.
sort of, yes.
It's kind of what it is.
Because of how samurai in movies are portrayed to us with the cool sword that can single-handedly slice through a blade, and how honor-bound we believe them to be, it's like whenever someone tries to tackle like the For Honor, who would win in a fight, samurai, knight, or Viking, and they normally come out with like, oh, the samurai because of their this reason, that reason, this reason. Like, if someone ever tells you that the katana is the greatest sword ever created...
No, I don't think that.
and it's sleek design, all that stuff. The thing with the katana is that it used to be made... It was a fantastic sword. The way they made it so the material almost didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was made out of shitty fucking material because they lived on an island where all they had was sand.
Yeah. No,
So, like,
I don't... No.
There is a genuine bias in Western culture, thanks to movies and games and books and stuff, to be biased towards believing that samurai are these almighty on high warriors.
No, I just think they're hot.
Well, you're wrong. With this, like...
How? But that's
Great
the same
honor.
exact thing they were for fucking Cowboys. Because that's like an American thing. So therefore, you
No, an American thing is being fat and eating 30
okay,
McChickens.
but aside from that, what do people usually in
Cowboys
Cowboys?
are grizzled.
And I get that.
They got
and,
the gruff beard. And
and
like
I get that.
the
And I
outdoorsy
understand the fascination and the attraction to it. I get it.
Beards
I do
are hotter
have it.
than not beards. That's just a fact.
I'm not saying they're not. I just find samurais hotter.
And I just find you to be wrong.
Fuck you! Don't you fucking at me with this shit. I just think they're hotter. I'm sorry. Or maybe
You don't need
ninjas. Either way.
Ninjas? You mean fucking farmers?
So, no, like
alright,
the fucking
you know what?
fake ninjas, you fuck.
Alright,
Well,
so-
not the fake ninjas, but like
The fake ninjas like Sasuke.
Ew, no, we're not talking about that. I never had
no.
a thing for
But
Sasuke.
fucking... If you want to talk about ninjas, alright, that's closer to samurai because both were farmers.
Yes, both were farmers.
Or not samurai.
Whatever.
Cowboys.
Shut up. I just fucking
Ninjas
God.
were farmers and cowboys were ranchers.
All right, fine.
Listen,
I know I'm not saying I'm not a weeb, but holy fuck, I just find them kind of hotter than Cowboys. Don't give me that.
alright, I'm going to say that I think you're kind of wrong.
I don't think you kind of think I'm wrong.
I think you're 100% wrong.
Yeah, just say that. Don't fucking mince words, you bitch.
Alright, I'm gonna say it. Seeing a grizzled, tough-looking guy on a horse leading a whole head of cattle across a vast desert land to find the next spot for them to graze is a lot hotter looking than a man in a kimono sitting down in front of his sword. That's my 2 cents on that.
I mean, you could just be like, hell, I would even say it's hotter when just, I don't know.
What sipping tea?
That's not, bitches ain't sipping tea. This is like twirling a fucking.
It's how some people sip tea. You know, if they're sipping a lot of tea real fast. British style.
That's this. This is.
No, that's ramen.
Fucking
Or
God.
actually, I think that's eat, right? Isn't that eat? Why is kissing your hand eating?
This is eating.
Then what is this?
I don't remember. I don't think it means anything.
What is spaghetti twirling your fingers in front of your
I
mouth?
say yeah, we're physically. Anyway, all right.
Listen, you can think samurai are hotter.
But clearly you're making me feel like I'm wrong just because I'm a fucking filthy weeb, you asshole. But
No, I'm
even
not making
then,
you feel like you're wrong. I'm stating that you're wrong. And you can state that you think I am wrong for saying that you are wrong.
Okay.
You don't have to like my opinion that you are wrong.
I'm not saying I should like it, but fucking to throw the weeb fucking topic in there, fucking Persona 5 the animation got an English dub and it's now on Funimation Now to stream. So now you can fucking you can kind of experience Persona 5, Jay. Experience it somehow. I understand you don't want to play a 100-hour game because that's totally fair. But there you go. There's your in.
That's a soft maybe, my friend.
That's fine. I can see you watching that over Fruits Basket, okay?
I don't know, man. After seeing that sexy fucking rabbit.
If you're gonna fuck... He's talking about... Not, by the way, for people who do know about Fruits
Spoiler.
Basket, is spoiler, and also he's not talking about Momiji.
No. I don't like Momiji.
But I'm just saying he's the actual rabbit
He's saying
spirit.
that stupid fucking song. No,
Not in the new one.
Not the child rabbit, the hot rabbit.
The
It's
cat.
like the lizard rabbit.
The cat. The hot boy. The good one. Anyway, holy fuck.
He's hot when he becomes the lizard rabbit.
I think that's it for this episode. Unless you really have something else you want to fucking throw in there.
Xbox One X.
All right.
Price leaked.
That's fucking.
I forgot to throw
you
this
silly
in.
bitch.
I was so caught up in my discussion about how I hate double standards that I forgot to say that the Xbox Series X had a price leak at about $600.
And even then, that's not like set in stone, so it's
a price leak.
Probably not gonna be true. So it might be 500, might be 650, might be 550, might be 700. Either way,
Still gonna be cheaper than the therapy Anthony needs after this
fucking just
episode.
railing me because I fucking find
I'm
samurai.
not railing you. A samurai is railing you.
I fucking wish.
Why? At this point, they're all skeletons. There's no modern day samurai. There might be.
There might be. I have no
But,
idea,
like-
but I don't look that shit up that much.
You ever
But-
heard of crosswalk killings?
Yeah.
With the samurai?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently heard about that. Where they sharpen their blade and then test it out on the nearest they'd wait at crosswalks, wait for someone who was of lower class, and just fucking cut them up.
Thanks, Rurouni Kenshin. Actually, that wasn't from Rurouni Kenshin, but
That's
I
not where I learned that from.
No, I meant like for me, but I'm like I don't think I actually was from that. Either way, whatever.
I learned that after I was done reading up on how they classify solar flares. Which, next episode, that might be like an interesting thing to bring up during the MISC section, because
There you
it's,
go. I mean, we
it's
probably
pretty fucking neat.
well, we might do something for our 50th episode. Probably not, but no, we might. I don't know. We'll think about it.
I'll buy a cowboy, you'll buy a samurai, and you can fuck both, and then you'll determine who is the hotter one. I would offer to fuck one, but I'm not particularly attracted to either one.
I get it. I'm gay. Fuck.
I didn't. Well, that was more of an I'm not gay than you are gay.
Clearly, you said, well, you buy a samurai and I'll buy a
Cowboy, and then you can fuck
and then
'em.
I can fuck him.
Yeah, to see which one you think is hotter afterwards.
This is What's New
I
Play
can
2
endeavor-
podcast, episode 49.
I can endeavor to change your opinion.
Have a good night, everyone.